Number 2 is for you to go through your own content that you've already done. Now, me on this podcast, we've done well over 300 episodes. We might be approaching 400-ish when this comes out. I'm not sure 100%, but we've done at least 300 episodes, and about half of those are solo episodes with just me. And so I can go in and have my team pull out all of the even numbered episodes. I think those are the ones where I do solos, and look at the content of stuff we've already done. And then I'll look and see if I can get a different spin on it. Something that we had produced about microphones, about sound dampening equipment, about headphones, about headphone use, microphone use, stuff about content, getting guests, about growing a show, growing a podcast. And then I figure out, what have I done and what could I do again? And remember this when doing number 2. When you're doing number 2, this doesn't mean pooping. When you're doing option number 2 on this list, you want to be thinking of that not every listener has listened to all of your podcast episodes. Now, first and foremost, hi, Mom. My mom actually does listen to all of my episodes. She's one of the few people that tell me that they listen to every single episodes. Hi, Julie Holly, probably listening again. I've got a few people that tell me that they listened at each and every one. They've listened to 100 or more, 200 or more episodes, or some people have said, I've listened to almost all 300 and something of your episodes. So hi, Julie. Hi, Mom. At any rate, what other than your mom, if she's supporting you as much as mine is, you don't really have very many people that listen to a ton of your episodes. They're probably going to listen to 5, 10, 15, 20, or 30 episodes for the most part, unless they're true fans, diehard fans like Julie and my mom. They're probably only going to listen to 5, 10, 15, 20, or 30 episodes before they have the content that they need, and they move on. They hire you. They look for additional content, whatever it is. They're ready to move on. So as we talk about number 2 being looking at your own content, here's the thing to remember. It is that you shouldn't say to yourself, I've already done content on that. You shouldn't say, we've already talked about that. And I'm going to use Dave Ramsey as an example. Or we could also use Grant Cardone as an example. Or we could also use Gary Vaynerchuk as an example. So Dave Ramsey says the same 4 things, and that's it. He talks about how the paid off mortgage is replacing the BMW as a status symbol of wealth, the paid off mortgage. So he always talks about that. Grant Cardone always talking about 10x, 10x, 10x. Gary V always talking about, you got to be active on social media or you're going to lose in your business. And we keep hearing these things from them. And then now that we keep hearing the same message from these people, we start sharing that message, and now they become famous because I'm talking about all 3 of them, even when they're not in the room. And for you, there's a few things that you're going to draw your line in the sand on, where you're going to be passionate about, that you really want to teach people and help people with. For me, it is probably, you shouldn't be starting a podcast ready, fire, aim. You should start your podcast ready, aim, fire. I talk about that all the time. And that is a piece that I think is really important for you or your friend who's about to launch a podcast, to make sure that you prepared before you actually start, because of how detrimental it can be to launch a podcast without a plan. It can just be horrible for you. It can be a waste of time and energy for you to do something like that. So just remember, you want to be sure that when you go to record, we're still talking about number 2, when you go to record, that you're going to feel like, man, I've already talked about that. And you got to just say, it's okay. I need to be like Dave Ramsey. I've got to be like Grant Cardone. I've got to be like Gary Vee. I've got to be like Adam Adams. I've got to have a few things that we talk about more than once, because that's what my avatar really, truly needs. And not every person listening has listened to all 300 of your episodes. Some of them, this is the first episode that they've ever listened. So reach down, pour into them from your heart, and share with them those details that they need to know in order to take the next steps for them whatever the business that you're in. For me, it's podcasting. So I'm going to give you whatever tips and tricks and strategies that I can, so you can leave this episode and have something tangible. And also, that you could work with my team to support you in launching a podcast, growing a podcast, or doing all of the back office, back end stuff for your show, so you can be the star and we handle all the hard stuff.